Hello, friends. Happy Friday to one and all. How are we doing this evening? I have been rushing to get this all set up and I have not even had a chance to load a pipe, but I will say hello to a few folks first. And I already see we got Corvette Jim, Cliff Higgins, and Big Dave. How you guys doing tonight? Paul the Piper. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Stephen Skip Kane. Twatter Surprise. How you doing, my friend? Armchair Piper. Hello there, Ed. Big Dave. How's it going, Dave? Glad to see you got through the Halloween. Ron H. Hello there. Jeffers 58. Great to see all you guys. Saw you were actually here a little bit earlier when I was just getting things set up, and it's always good to see that you guys are having some fun chatting amongst yourself before the show. It makes me feel good that that this provides a place for you to do that. So on to business. I'm gonna have my Matches Tribute 7LA tonight, and I am gonna be smoking Haunted Bookshop. And sorry to disappoint you if you were looking for variety, but I'm also gonna be drinking a Youngling Hershey's Chocolate Porter. There's only so many of those in a 12-pack. I'll eventually switch to something else, but they're just it's just been too good to interrupt them. So let me get my pipe packed here, and we'll move on. We got a really nice show tonight. We are going to be talking to my friend Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. I'm sure you guys have, if nothing else, seen Signalman Tony in the chat. He's a frequent commenter on a lot of videos, and he's a real good guy, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better. And not in any way influencing me on what I just said, but Signalman Tony did send me this really cool personalized Zippo lighter that I really enjoy, so I thought it would be a good idea to bring that up tonight. Oh, Big Dave, no trick-or-treaters. Sorry to hear that. B. Conrad, how you doing? Watch City Captain Boomer and a Savinelli Sienna 111. Sounds very nice. Ron H. Ghost Cobb, how you doing? Friday Savinelli for Ron H with Carter Hall. Good choice, Ron. Harlow Piper, hello there. I know, Steph, I love the camaraderie too, but I'm just so happy that we have it. Chris62154, good evening, good to see you. Bona Piper, how are you doing, Christian? Left candy on a table outside. The third kid who came right off with the whole stash. Did he take the bowl? Southwest aficionado, good to see you, Micah. Amphora Burley, sounds very good. Kilted Piper Steve, how you doing, Steve? Bayou Nights, both you and Kathy smoking Bayou Nights and basket pies. Bayou Nights a good blend. Mark in Rhode Island, hello there, Mark. Kirk from Florida, hey Kirk, how's it going? WKR Piper, good to see you, Odie. Boris the Piper, hello. HNU's Bakua in an LCS stubby, very good. Paragon Piper, Haunted Bookshop in a K-Woody Block Meerschaum. Woot indeed. Meerschaum Mountaineer, how's it going, my friend? We're not going to talk about that tonight, Meerschaum Mountaineer 304. We're just not going to talk about it. Richard T, how are you tonight? Yes, Cliff Higgins is getting ready to take the kids deer hunting tomorrow. Look, hope you have a great time, Cliff, and best of luck with it. Ron H, do you have an excess of Milky Ways now? So we learned the hard way when we moved to this neighborhood. It's the strangest thing. We're right across the street from an elementary school, but we just don't get trick-or-treaters. And it's not just us, I mean, the whole block. So we stopped quite a while back, even buying candy, because we just wound up eating it all. Doing just fine here, Richard T. Thank you. Doing just fine. So we're going to be getting Signalman Tony on the phone in just a little bit, but I wanted to mention that I had a couple of, if you saw early on, there were a couple of you might also like things in the what do you call that? The pre-credits or something. I don't know what to call it. The thing I do so that I don't come on here looking like an idiot saying, "Oh, is this on yet?" JMZ 56, Swaggy Bottom, Piper 1926, and the Pith Helmet Matinee. All things you really should check out. Swaggy Bottom's a brand new presenter just in the past couple of days. GMZ is a good friend of ours. He started in very recently. Links for all three of those down in the description. So if you get a chance, check them out. I think you'll enjoy it, and it's always important to grow the community. So you folks that might follow me on Instagram know that I restocked on Haunted Bookshop this week. It's back. It's back in stock, at least at Smoking Pipes, and so I'm good for a bit. I also got some Crooner, which is back in stock again. I had mentioned I was worried about the issue with the deer tongue, but apparently it's all okay, and Crooner's quite good. Harlow Piper smoking his news pipe with LJ Peretti 150th anniversary flake. Very nice. I've got some LJ Peretti goodies coming. They're in the mail right now. Tony 513, hello there, my friend. Philadelphia Piper, it's not quite 100 pounds. Not quite. I hope you've been having some reasonable weather, at least wherever you are. I know some guys have already gotten snow. We were in the 70s today. Unbelievable. And I'm hoping that lasts through the weekend, because it would be nice to actually be able to enjoy some of it. Well, Kevin, not this time, but in a future purchase, I'm going to buy it in tin so I don't smoke it all. I did fill a jar, though. I did fill a jar from the last batch, so I was proud of that. Yeah, Ron H., I've been smoking Gentleman Caller, and I like that a lot, too. But I like the Crooner. It's kind of lighter on the deer tongue, in my opinion. So, it gives you just enough that you know it's there, but it's not as heavy as Gentleman Caller. Plus, it's available in bulk. Oh, Couch got his LJ Peretti stuff yesterday. How's the Zippo, Couch? I hope that's going to show up in one of your videos if it hasn't already. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Snow and then back up to 80, Steph. That's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, Harlow Piper. I got some Thanksgiving blend and some Cuban mixture too. Hey Boris, that is warm for November in your part of the world. Ah, Couch, that's not true. That's all I need is for people to start sending me mason jars filled with Haunted Bookshop. Horatio Ayusio. Hello there. We had snow last week in Rhode Island and it's 65 today. Yeah, odd weather. Amen to that, Meerschaum Mountaineer. Every pretty day makes for a shorter winter. Yeah, Ron, I get it. I can imagine that's true. Ah, couch, that's what it was designed to do. So good deal with that Zippo. Eric S., how you doing, my friend? Oh, B. Conrad, that's this year's. I wasn't sure about this year's. Every year the Thanksgiving blend is a little bit different, so I'm looking forward to trying it. Didn't like last year's too much. Smooth Piper, how you doing, Peter? Good to see you, buddy. You guys are just joining the fun. We're going to be talking tonight with Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. Tony's a good friend, shows up in the live stream quite a bit, and I know he's a big commenter on many of our channels. So looking forward to chatting with him and getting to know him a bit better. Just a few minutes, we'll give him a call. Yeah, Steve, that's great. The perfect weather for that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to be doing some outside clearing tomorrow. I haven't even started with leaves. I hate to start with leaves because I look up in the trees and there's always so many leaves in the trees, and I just know I'm going to have to do it again and again. One year I really let it get out of hand and just told my lawn guy to take care of it. And I was really happy about that, but my wife got the bill and I was told I couldn't do that anymore, which is reasonable. Hey, by the way, before we get Tony on the line, let me know what you think of the audio. I've made some changes and I've hopefully gotten rid of a lot of that annoying background noise that you were hearing. Is that true on your end? Can you hear me clearly, and is there any background? Ilva is snoring. She's so cute when she sleeps, Couch. Oh, is that true, Kilted Piper Steve? I didn't know that you could predict the winter by the persimmon seeds. I've heard lots of other tree-based predictors. No, that's unfortunate. All right, looks like we got most folks like the sound. Cliff's just giving me trouble because he's Cliff. KC Hooligan, hello. Good to see you, my friend. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get Tony on the line in just a minute. Do give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on Tony's audio when he starts talking. Because again, same thing, I've made some tweaks and I don't know how good it's going to be, but I can easily tweak it back if we have problems. Voodoo07, how you doing, my friend? Just finished up some Golden Days of Yore. Hope you enjoyed that, buddy. Ah, WKR Piper is one of them leaf cleanup guys that makes money on my problem. Do you ever get out to Pennsylvania, Odie? Yes, Cliff, I know how dentists are. And you know, a little bit of echo might be kind of cool. Might make me sound more imposing. All right, folks. Let's see if we can get our buddy Tony on the line here. Put my glasses on so I call the right person. That's something I haven't done yet. Called the wrong person. That would be fun.
Hello.
Hello, Tony. This is CaneRod Piper. How you doing, buddy?
Very good. How you doing?
Doing fine. Glad you're going to take some time out this evening and join us for a little while.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I'm just waiting for someone to tell me how the audio is before we get started, because I made a few changes and I want to make sure that they can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm getting a thumbs up, so we're good. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Tony 513. So Tony, I was saying as I was talking about you being on the show that, you know, I know you as somebody that shows up in the chat a lot, and you certainly comment quite a bit on videos, but I really don't know you that well. So I'm really looking forward to trying to learn a little bit more about you. And I think the best thing to start with would be just to ask you to tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I've been living in Rhode Island my whole life. I'm 58 years old, married with 2 children. I've been an electrician for 38 years, and but my specialty is traffic lights and highway lighting. That's why you notice the traffic signal on your lighter.
Exactly, yes.
And I've been smoking cigars for a good 20 years. And then I had to have surgery. I was out of work for like 6 months. So I was smoking a lot of cigars, like 5 a day, you know, and that adds up, you know, 35 a week, 140 a month for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I got to do something with this. It was like way too many cigars. So I started with pipes about 4 years ago. And, you know, Chris Munchchopper, he was very instrumental. He's very thorough with his tobacco and his pipes. It's unfortunate, yeah. You know, he's not making videos anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an avid hunter, fisherman. I do a lot of fishing on the Delaware River from like Port Jervis, New York, up to Honesdale, Pennsylvania. I got some property that I hunt on in Narrowsburg, Pennsylvania. So my son and I, we do a lot of fishing along there in the summertime. And it's very nice up there. It's a beautiful area up that end.
Yes.
I'm a competitive high-power rifle shooter. I do a lot of shooting. Hopefully this year we can get to Camp Perry, Ohio there, and so I can get my distinguished medal. I would really like that now that, you know, getting up in age, it's just so, they're long, grueling matches, you know, it takes a lot out of you. So I hope this year we can get there and accomplish that.
Yeah, so high power, is that the where you brace everything up and shoot for distance? Is that the
shoot for distance? Yeah. 300 yards, 400, 500, and 600 yards. You know, with the M1 Grand, I use a 338 lapel for my long distance shooting. It's a little more gun than you need, but it just reaches out and can touch someone. You know, it's a heavier bullet, faster. I'm very comfortable with that.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. But I gotta jump to something else because you really surprised me. So my dad actually grew up in Port Jervis. And you're like the third person I've ever heard mention Port Jervis in my life.
It's a nice little town, Port Jervis. It's growing. It's getting a little more congested down there, but it's a nice little town.
I drove through it a few years ago because I like to go up to Roscoe, New York to do fishing in the Catskills. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just decided to take a route that would take me through Port Jervis because I hadn't been there since I was a kid, visiting my grandmother on my dad's side. It as far as my memory was, it looked like it had come along quite a bit.
Yeah, it's actually growing now. Every time we go up, you see more and more, a little more and more congestion than what it was years ago, but it's that whole stretch up the Honesdale, it's beautiful up there. I mean, you see bald eagles flying all the time, falcons. It's a real nice area.
Yeah.
For relaxation. There's a lot of tubing down the Delaware. Landers, there's a place called Landers there. He does a lot of that, and that's nice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
although I don't do tubing now.
So you normally fishing from a boat?
Mostly from the shore.
From the shore, okay.
All the way up. Yeah, no one. There's a lot of access points to the river there, and no one bothers you. You get your license, and no one bothers you.
Nice.
Yep, very nice up there.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I don't know if you've seen this or if it's even still there, but there was a bridge. It might have been called Dingby Bridge, something like that, where you had to pay a toll when you crossed it, and there's actually a guy. It's a 2-lane bridge, and there's a guy sitting on a chair with a container that collects the toll.
Yeah, I think that bridge is closed now. It's just for traffic only.
Okay.
I think I know the bridge you're talking about. Yeah, it's a steel structure.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That bridge is closed now to traffic, but I think foot traffic only now on that bridge.
Okay. Well, that's
Yep.
that's sad because it had so much character. To just see that guy sitting there, and it was like taking a step back in time.
Right.
So I'm interested in hearing more about the work on the traffic signals. I mean, that's kind of a unique area of electronics.
It's kind of a specialized field. When I first started out, a lot of electricians didn't want to do it, or apprentices didn't want to do it because you work outside in the summer, you work outside all winter, and then work slowed up, and that was the only work out there. A lot of them, they wanted to take layoffs, and I wanted to keep working. So I just kind of specialized in that, in the highway lighting, and that's my forte now. I mean, I got 3.5 years left to retire, and I'll be done with that. But it's been a great career. I can't say enough about it. I've been a union electrician my whole life, and it's been great for me. It's not for everybody. The weather can take a toll on you after a while. Your body gets beat up out there. But other than that, it's a great field. The traffic light, everything's growing in the traffic industry. There's always something new coming out. There's always something new to learn. I mean, pretty much you wire one building, they're all about the same. Houses, commercial, industrial, you wire one motor, the next motor is the same. But the traffic's always changing. There's always something different, always something new brackets or, new way to wire a piece of equipment. It works. I enjoy it.
That is really interesting. So have you guys switched over to LEDs now?
We're 100% LEDs right now.
Really?
Yep. The whole state and the city where I work in now, we're 100% LEDs. They only between the traffic cabinet and the signals out there, you only draw 3 amps.
Wow.
It's amazing how there's just one area we did. It was a savings of $150,000 a year in electricity in just one area. That wasn't the whole city.
Right. That's amazing.
So it does save a lot of money.
So asked that because they did it here a few years back, and there was an immediate problem because in the winter, the snow was sticking to the signals in a way that it wasn't back when it was incandescent bulbs.
Yeah, that's a whole. That was going to actually bring that up. That's a whole nother issue. Yeah, well, the LEDs don't produce any heat.
Right.
With the other bulb lamps were 116 watt lamp. It was a special lamp for traffic lights. It was an 8,000 hour bulb, and it drew a lot of heat. And now the LEDs said, when it's bad, we got to go out there and take the snow off the lenses and everything. So now that's just another job another job you got to do.
Yeah. That is really cool. I got to be careful that I'm not getting too deep into the weeds on this, because I actually have a background in electronics, and I'm just really intrigued by how things work, and especially these things like traffic signals that you just wind up taking for granted. But if you really take a step back and think about it, there's a lot of complexity there in terms of just how they have to be timed and how you have to maintain that timing, and it's impressive stuff.
It's a lot more. When I first started, everything was electromechanical. It was relays.
Mm-hmm.
If the relay didn't pull in, you could see it. Now it's a circuit. You got to find it.
Right.
It's within the timer, or within a particular unit inside it. What's not working. It's just a little more. It's a lot more involved now than it ever was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keeps you sharp. You're always learning.
Yeah, I have no complaints.
So you said you started off as a cigar smoker for a while and switched to pipes about 4 years ago. I'm just curious if there were any early influences on you. Did you have family members that were pipe or cigar smokers, or what got you into that?
Actually, one of my uncles was a pipe smoker when I was young, and I used to like the smell of it all the time. Really never liked the smell of cigars. But when I tried pipes a few times here and there, and it never worked for me. My tongue would be like on fire. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. There was really no one to ask.
Yeah.
So cigars was easy. They're simple.
Right.
There's nothing to it. Where a pipe's a little more involved.
Yeah, it does take some time and some practice for sure.
I still smoke cigars. Padrones, Macanudos, the Ashtons, the Liga Privadas. Once I start smoking them, I can't get enough of them. That's my personality. I'm just kind of like addicted to them.
Right.
So I kind of pay attention now. I realized I had a problem when, you blow through 800 cigars in 6 months. That's a lot of cigars.
Yeah.
And, you're smoking 5 a day. All they did was do my therapy in the morning, go for my walk, and sit in the garage and smoke. Smoke 12, 14 hours a day.
Right. Yeah, but you broke my cardinal rule, Tony. You counted. You never count.
Well, when you empty out one humidor and you dive into your prime stock, you do realize you got a problem here. And the pipes are. I was an aromatic guy when I first started. I didn't like any English blends or Virginia blends. Actually, now the Virginia, I like the Virginias and the Virginia Periques. They don't like me. I get tongue bite with that. It's unbelievable. But primarily, I'm an English. I like my English. I like my Balkan blends. I go to LJ Peretti because they're. I'm in Rhode Island, they're in Mass, but it's only like an hour and 20-minute ride. I go up on an early Saturday morning and I go in there. The guys are great in LJ Peretti. They're just fantastic. Actually, I learned a lot from them because they let you try the blends there. And it's only about a year and a half ago, I started smoking English blends, and I can't get enough of them. Yeah, they kind of, that's the way it is. You kind of go from one to another, and once you're hooked on something,
it's all consuming for a while, and sometimes
Yep.
forever. Sometimes you never get off of it. So you said mutton chop was a help to you. Was that how you kind of got over the tongue bite issues? Was it mostly from those kinds of videos, or what did you wind up doing?
Yeah, he was a big help. There was another guy that he's not making videos anymore either. I guess he had a few health issues, and I'm trying to what the hell was his name? That's not Brad from Pipes and Kayaks. His name just I forget his name now offhand, but he actually had a problem with nicotine, and he kind of stopped making videos for a while.
Okay.
But I ended up going to filtered pipes. And that was a big help.
Ah, okay. And do you exclusively smoke filtered pipes now?
Primarily, I smoke all filtered pipes. I had a lot of them changed over to 9mm. You did one for me. You did a phenomenal job on that. I can't say enough about it. But about a year and a half ago, I sent a lot of my pipes to Rich at Briarville, and he pretty much changed them all over to 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah, he does good work, no question about it.
Yep.
I understand he's actually retired. I think Rich is the guy that's doing things now, but Rick is actually retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it still same quality of work.
Right. There was a lot of presenters out there. John, old Dirty Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very knowledgeable guy. He's awesome. Simon, very knowledgeable on pipe tobacco, cigars. He's phenomenal. I learned a lot from a lot of the presenters. They're out there to help you. If you send them an email, they respond to you. They're great guys.
Right. Yeah, that's just generally true of the folks in this community. We're just a big happy family, really. And it's funny. I've talked about this before, but I started pipe smoking at a time where I was fortunate. There were still a couple of brick and mortars around, and there were still a couple of old codgers around that would tell me you're doing it wrong and that kind of stuff. But that didn't last for long, and there was this dry period for a lot of guys where they were trying to pick up pipes and there wasn't any way to really learn. And I think YouTube's been just an absolute godsend for folks like that.
Right. Yeah, the other guy, I just remember his name, Smokin' Briar.
Oh, okay.
He did a lot of VRs, and I haven't seen him in like a year and a half. I reached out to him actually about a meerschaum pipe that he had. I was looking for one of those.
Mm-hmm.
The guy emailed me back in like 5 minutes, told me everything, where to go to get it and everything. But he was very knowledgeable with tobacco, and he was a big help to me. But a lot of the videos, I watch them all. I watch everybody. I watch everybody's live stream. You can just, if you pick up one or two things, it helps you out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's important because I don't think anybody knows it all or necessarily has the right answer for you. What works for one guy isn't going to work for another.
Right. And I was watching your live streams. I've watched pretty much all of them, and I see you, in the Carter Hall and the half and half, and I actually just bought 2 tubs from Eddie about 2 months ago.
Ah.
And I tell you the truth, I can't get enough of the Carter Hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. And considering the issues you had with, so you might be a Burley guy.
Yeah, Burley. Yeah, I like Burleys too. I like them. It's just the Virginias. They just light me up still.
Yeah.
I can't get a handle on that. Like I tell you, the guys at LJ Peretti, they're just phenomenal. They're just nice guys. I try to go there every 4 or 5 months, see them,
Yeah. Yeah, it's great that there's still a few folks like that around. You know, LJ Peretti, Boswell here in PA is another one
Yep.
where you can actually talk to somebody and they know what they're talking about and they can advise you. Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know, Boswell's is great. I mean, I get a lot of their aromatics. I mean, I tried like everybody. I love the aromatics, but once I started on the English blends, the Balkan blends, I really don't smoke aromatics anymore. And everybody liked the smell of it when they come in the garage. They went, "Oh, what are you smoking? That smells great."
Mm-hmm.
And the English blends, and they don't, they're okay, but not like an aromatic blend.
Right, right. Yeah, I have a very tolerant wife that lets me smoke in the house, but I think she's kind of happy that I don't smoke a lot of English blends. So.
Right. Yeah, I don't smoke in the house at all. I mean, I'm primarily out. I have a garage. It's heated. I just stay out here and do it. I got a air purifier. Everything works. Right.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I've actually kind of switched to mostly smoking in the basement or outside. I have a pipe in the evening upstairs, but yeah, just not as much in the house anymore. My wife's developed some. She has really bad allergy problems, is what it really comes down to, and that just the smoke irritates her. But she's okay with it. She tells me not to worry about it. I just figure it's a nice thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
There was another person that he's not on too much anymore. Eric from Tea and Tobacco. He's very knowledgeable about pipes and tobacco. I mean, he rolls his own cigars. Actually, all the presenters, I think I've learned something from everyone. Eric, the blue collar piper.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from him. Certain places where he gets his tobacco. I primarily buy my tobacco from tobacconists. C&D blends, GLTs. I don't buy them at all. I go to a place where they make the tobacco, and I buy it from them. I stay away from the big guys. Right.
Well, that's good.
That's just me.
Yeah. No, if you can do it, that is great. And even the smaller guys online, folks like Eddie. It's great to support them because they really are kind of the heart of the pipe smoking world these days. These few brick and mortars that are still around, or the little online shops. That's what's keeping us going. The big guys are great, but they don't care. They just don't care.
That's when I'm like Country Squire. They're very good. I have a lot of their blends. Whether they're aromatics or English blends. There's another guy, Smokers Haven. Phenomenal guy. Phenomenal shop. Nice people. Strauss Tobacco. Very nice people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ewan Reese is another. Yeah. We could. Fortunately, we could probably go on for quite a while naming them. It's which is great. It's great that there are still so many.
But I do still like, the Samuel Goward and Hogarth, Germain's. I really like their blends too. I kind of don't hold myself to one blend because you hear so much about like the McClellan blends. They went right out of business.
Right.
Now everybody's trying to get as much as they can. I don't want to be kind of held hostage to one blend or or one company.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So in that regard, are you the kind of guy that's got like 10 open tins or 10 open jars, or do you tend to stick to one and finish it and then try something different?
Well, I'm a little OCD, and if you've seen my garage, and I showed Mel it, and he was stunned. I probably have in bowl jars 70 blends on a shelf. I have them in like PVC couplings. They're all glued together in like a shelf, and I kind of just get the aromatics on one side, everybody else is on the other, and I go at that. Yeah, I kind of go a little bit over the top, I guess.
Well,
and then see what happened to me was with Chris Muschampa, he was like talking about the deeming regulations. You better stock up. Well, that was kind of a bad thing for me because when he said that, it was like game on. So I got another cabinet in the basement that has probably more than I can ever use right now.
Right.
But I guess it's a good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's never going to be cheaper than when you bought it. So.
Right.
And, if worse comes to worse and you decide tomorrow you're not going to smoke a pipe ever again, you could always sell it.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of people selling it online and stuff. A lot of them I bought from them. A lot of the Esoterica blends, the Germain blends, they're a little harder to get. They don't seem to make a lot of it. So I've been actually buying it from guys that have been going out. They're all done. They're getting rid of their stock. So I've been kind of fortunate that way.
Yeah, that is. It's great to be able to take advantage of that when it happens. Sure.
Yep.
So I'm curious. You said you're a big hunter and fisherman. Do you incorporate your pipe smoking into that? Is that part of the sort of ritual when you go out on a hunt or when you go fishing?
No, actually, not at all. I really don't smoke at all when I'm hunting. I don't go anywhere near smoke when I'm hunting because they can smell it on your clothes. So that's out. In fishing, I don't get really enjoyment out of smoking a cigar or a pipe when I'm fishing. My concentration's there. Next thing you know, the pipe's out. I'm trying to relight it. The cigar, I put it down. I go to get it. So I don't really smoke when I'm really when I'm riding my lawnmower. I cut my grass riding my lawnmower. I'll smoke a cigar, not like a second, like a Rocky Patel second. Because if it gets wet or I drop it, I don't really care too much about it. Then dropping a Padron on the ground or a Macanudo. But the only time I smoke is when I'm relaxing.
Good. That's it's nice to sort of incorporate it into that relaxation then, because it's an excellent tool for that for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I don't hunt, but I fish quite a bit, and I find that I really enjoy having a cigar or a pipe when I pack up for the day. Before I head back. But I agree with you. Not while I'm actually. I'm generally wading in the river, so it's quite dangerous to smoke a pipe, and it also interferes quite a bit with fly casting. But
right.
But yeah, that's when I enjoy it. But that's kind of fitting in with what you're saying, because that's a time where you are kind of relaxing, and the day's done, and you're getting ready to head home.
Right. There's some days, that I don't smoke at all. You just get caught up in life's things. You're here, there, and everywhere. And there isn't a time to relax and have a pipe for like a half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yep.
I can't. I can't say I really want it. I would like to, but I don't have to have it. So I guess that's a good thing too.
Yeah, definitely. And that shows that we're not dealing with something that's an addiction here. It really is a pleasure, a hobby, whatever you want to call it, but it's not an addiction. So.
Yeah, it's not like at lunchtime I smoke a bowl. I never do that. Never. I don't even have any pipes, and I can, because let's say so we're outside. You could smoke all day if you want. There's guys that smoke cigarettes all day that you work with. But it's not something I enjoy to do, so I just never do it.
Right. Gotcha. So we're gonna turn over for questions in just a minute, Tony. But I got one last question that I gotta ask you while I got you on the phone. So, what do I need to do to make that magic box that lets me change the red light to green?
Actually, it's you just need the emitter for your car. It's this little box. It can it puts out a code. It's like a strobe light. But now they're infrared, so they're even better. Nobody can see you have it, and it just emits a code to the detector on the pole, and it changes them. It works well.
Really?
It works from 800 yards away.
The
direct line of sight.
That's funny. I actually thought it was a myth. I didn't think that those things really existed. So I learned something.
They're loaded Connecticut has a ton of them. Pennsylvania does, because when I drive through there, I see them. Yeah, in New York. Oh yeah, they're all over.
Interesting. And that would mostly be for fire or law enforcement, things like that?
Fire police have them. They're on a high priority frequency, where basically it's going to go just green in their direction. But also a lot of buses are using them now. They're on a low priority, where basically police and fire override them. But it gives the buses the green light not as fast as it does the police and fire, and it can just keep their flow going where they can pick up more people. You know, in an hour's period, they can drive like another 5 more miles. I guess that's how they. There's a whole theory to that. These engineers, they figure all this out. If a bus travels 22 miles an hour down the road, and you know, he gets the green light when he needs it. You know, it makes their route faster, and they can pick up more people.
Right.
But those admitted that preemption does work well.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, if it's okay with you, why don't we see if there's any questions in the chat room for you? Okay. And by the way, we've had 70 plus people listening in, so you were a good draw. I know you said you were worried about that when we talked earlier in the week.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be much at all. Like, I'm just an average guy, you know. I don't make videos or anything like that. That's why I said that to you, you know. Yeah,
but that's what this is all about, just getting to know the average guys in our community. So I'm glad you were able to do it, and I'm glad we got so many people that showed up. So, folks,
thank you for having me.
Sure thing. So, folks, what questions do we have for Tony? Yeah, it usually takes. There's about a 30-second delay, so. Full Smoking Bar Nick wants to know if you'll come out to Tulsa because their traffic lights are terrible.
That might be when I retire. I'll take it right out the Tulsa.
Cogs and Sprockets is pointing out that we're all just average guys. Amen there, buddy. Tony 513 is asking if you ever install the loops that trigger traffic signals.
Oh, the loops, yep. I put them in too. Now we use a lot of video detection, a lot of cameras. Loops are kind of going by the wayside now because they get damaged by by contractors digging in the roadways, or you know, like in Rhode Island, the road they heave from the winter. So we're going to cameras pretty much everywhere now. Good. But yes, I put in loops, and that's a dirty job.
Let's see. Ben Greenman, is Tony doing more signal installs or repairs in the winter?
Both. Primarily repairs, or all repair. You know, maintaining what you have in the winter, and you know, once the spring comes, we'll do new installs. Yes. Gotcha.
And Parikh Piper Skip is asking, what is your favorite boutique English blend?
Well, you know, that's boy, that would be, I would have to say my favorite English blend right now. Right now I'm smoking Smoker's Haven Union Square English. It's a very good English blend. Very good English.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that one. I say interesting because one of my favorite Virginias is actually a blend called Union Square by GLPs.
Okay.
So,
right, I've heard of that. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll have to look into the Smoker's Haven. I've got a few of their blends that I haven't tried yet, but I've heard really good things about them.
Yeah, the 10 Downing Street is great. Medal of Honor, Brian's blend, Mountain Leaf, Lord Nelson. I can go on and on because I just I get like 4 ounces from them when I do it.
Right.
And then if I like it, I buy a pound. Yeah, their blends are fantastic. I can't say enough about the LJ Peretti blend. They're phenomenal too.
Yep, absolutely. Waves of Java wants to know what your favorite pipe is.
My favorite pipe is my first pipe I purchased. I didn't even know what I was purchasing until later on. But it's a Porsche. It's a Porsche billiard, 9mm. I have to say that's one of my favorite pipes.
Very nice. Let's see. Kilted Piper Steve's asking, what do you mostly fish for?
That trout, mostly all trout.
Trout.
Yep. Smallmouth bass, small bass, trout, primarily that's about it.
And all river.
Yeah, the only river I do is the Delaware. My son and I, we live it up there. We have friends up there that live up there, and we stay up there for like a week, and it's just great, great friends up there. So and then they come down here in the summer. They come to my house, for like a weekend or two, and we just have a blast. Just great guys. We hunt with them, we fish with them. They're great people.
Right. So yeah, I was just going to ask and I'm kind of ignorant about Rhode Island. I don't know that there's many places to fish there, but I guess it would be ocean fishing, saltwater.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of saltwater places where you can fish, but there are a lot of ponds in Rhode Island. Rhode Island, there's a lot of places to fish, and you can fish with a boat. Some you can only use, I believe it's a 10-horse motor, and there's certain ponds you can only use an electric motor. But Rhode Island is very good for freshwater fishing. Yep, very, very good. Yeah. And I never fish here. I don't fish here, and I don't hunt here. Hunting is a little tough here because it's just kind of bow, muzzleloader, and shotgun, no rifle. Where in New York you can use, depending on the season, you can do it all.
Right. Let me see here. Paragon Piper is asking, what is your favorite Gawith blend?
My favorite, Samuel Gawith?
Yes.
Samuel Gawith, I would think it's the Brothy Flake. It's actually a Virginia forward, Latakia. I really like that blend. Doesn't burn me much. But then there's that Balkan Flake. I like that one too.
Nice. Okay. So Bona Piper is asking, what is the average lifespan of a traffic light?
The average of the LED or the signal itself?
I think he's asking the signal itself.
The signal itself? Oh, God, you get 30, 40 years out of the housing. They're not around salt. In the salty area, it could go, because they're just made out of like aluminum, cast aluminum. If 5 years around salt, but you get 30, I had some of them 40 years old, still hanging.
Wow.
The hangers wear out, but the signal's still good.
Wow. That's impressive. And just out of curiosity, the LEDs last for about how long?
The LEDs, there's a 5-year, 100% replacement on them. The yellows, you can probably get anywhere between 15 to 20 years out of them because they're only on for like,
Oh, yeah.
maximum of like 4 seconds, where a green and a red can be on for 30 seconds to like say 45 seconds, give or take, depending on the intersection. So you can average about 10 years out of a green and a red. But you always do better with the yellow.
That's pretty neat. Makes perfect sense, but just never really thought of that.
No, nobody really. No one really knows. They don't even how big they are. Because each section is 12 inches. So when it's up in the air, you don't think it's that big. When you put them on the ground, people are amazed the size of them. Because you're talking 36, 38 inches from top to bottom. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty big.
When you're sitting in the car looking up at them, they don't look that big. But yeah, I've actually seen them on the ground. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Daniel Tobias is asking, how long have you been with the job?
38 years.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Daniel Tobias, I have to. He was one of your the guys that you have on. He was one of the most interesting guys you had on there. You heard the goats in the background, and then the dog started barking. But when the rooster started, that just put your live stream to a different zone. That was great.
Yep, I agree. A lot of folks enjoyed that, and we're going to have to get Daniel back for a repeat. repeat
Gonna
visit.
get the rooster back too. That just brought it to another level, boy. That was great.
That was a lot of fun. Okay, here you go. This is a good one. Piper on the 45 wants to know, can you put magnets on the bottom of a motorcycle to make the light change faster?
Actually, you just turn up the sensitivity. The new detection works a lot better than the old detection. So if you're in a city that has old detection, you're going to have issues with that. But the new detection and the new video detection, you don't have any problems with detecting those. We can detect bicycles now. That's a whole new thing, bicycle lanes.
Wow.
We actually call them the bike Nazis. They're tough. They're a big organization, and we're putting bike lanes in everywhere just for them. Bus lanes, same thing. So we have to detect, I forget exactly how it works. The bike can weigh like 3 pounds. These aluminum bikes are totally different now, but it has to detect that. So yes, we can detect the bike. Cool.
Gamecock Piper is asking, pork or beef barbecue?
Pork.
Pork? Okay. You were very decided about that. I like that.
Yeah, I do a lot of smoking. I smoke Boston butts all the time. I actually just did 2 the other day. I was out of work and I said, oh, you know what? I want to pick up 2 Boston butts, and I smoked them. Yeah, I love doing that.
Let's see. Meg Piety, what certifications do you have to keep up for your gig?
You basically have to have an electrical license to do this work, depending on who you're working for, what municipality you're working for. Some of us have to have a master's license, and most everybody has to have a journeyman's license. What Mike was talking about, wanting to change the light green, you have to be certified in that also. But primarily, you need a journeyman's license. Where I am, you need your master's and a journeyman's license and a crane license. So you got to have all 3 of them in Rhode Island to work. Well, basically not the crane, but definitely the journeyman's license. Okay. Everything else is a plus for you. Basically, that's why you stay working and you don't get laid off. Right. WKR Piper wants to know if you smoke any McBaron blends. I have some McBaron blends. Yeah, I smoke them. I like them. They're good. They're not my go-to blends. I actually have them downstairs. I don't have them in my rotation. But yeah, I like a McBaron blend now and then. The Bull Kentucky Balkan blends. I think they got a club rolled cake. That's very good too. Mm-hmm. Good. Gamecock Piper's back with another barbecue question. Tomato or vinegar sauce? You broke up a little bit. The sauce, is it tomato or vinegar? I would definitely go with tomato sauce, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a vinegar guy. I tell you, I did not think I'd be talking about how to change traffic signals or barbecue tonight, but hey, it's good fun. I wish I had a rooster running around here. Let's see. Gene Roberts is asking, do you tie your own flies? No, I don't fly fish. I'm not a fly fisherman. I've watched some guys do it, and I give them a lot of credit, a lot of patience for that. Most of my time right now is spent reloading and precision shooting. That's my game, and that just takes a lot of my time because I reload like 8,000 rounds for my shooting for the year, and I buy everything at the same lot, same powders. Everything's made at the same time, so everything is consistent. So right now, that just consumes my time. That's why I don't do BRs or anything like that. So yeah, tying flies. I think maybe when I'm done with this here, I think this will be my last year. That's something I might do when I retire, or right before I retire. Right.
Peter, the smooth piper, was asking if you have a favorite codger blend.
Favorite codger blend? No, I can't. That would be what, the Cotto Halls? Would that be a codger?
Yeah, that would count.
Yeah, I would have to say. I have to say the Cotto Halls. I'm really liking that blend. I can't believe it, but that's actually one of my go-to blends. I'll smoke it for like a week straight, and then I'll go to a Jermaine's or Samuel Garwood or LJ Peretti. It's kind of what hits you that day.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry. I keep jumping. I paused the chat so I can catch the questions, and it keeps jumping on me. Here we go. Philadelphia Piper wants to know if you've ever tried any blend from Ken Byron Ventures.
No, I've heard of them, but I've never tried any.
Yeah, same here. Sea Smoke Pipe says he loves it, smoking Boston butts with a Rhode Island accent.
Yeah, it's kind of strong. Everybody tells me that especially when I'm in New York. Where you from, buddy? You from Boston? I'm not from Boston.
So this is an interesting one from Kilted Piper Steve. He wants to know if you ever had problems with trains jarring the signal lights and knocking them out of sync. He said it was a major problem in his hometown.
With cranes?
Trains.
Oh, trains. Oh, no, we don't have any problems with trains. No, we've had problems with cranes, driving by. Or there's some like 10-wheelers, tow trucks. If they're up too high, we've had issues with that. They'll just shear them right off. But not with trains.
Gotcha. Paragon Piper, ever shoot the .50 BMG?
No, never had the opportunity to shoot one yet. I want to try one, but no, not yet.
And Dude Rustica, my friend Steve does not disappoint. Don't answer this. He wants to know if when you smoke your butts, do you normally char light them first?
Actually, no, I don't char them at all. I put them in the smoker and let it do its thing.
All right, guys. I think we've gotten to the end. Any more questions for Tony? That was actually quite a few, Tony. So you clearly piqued a lot of folks' interest. Well, yeah, it doesn't look like we've got any more coming in. So, and we're just a little past 9. I don't want to keep you too late. But thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. It was great chatting with you and getting to know you a bit more. And I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
No, thank you for having me, Mike, and thank you all for the questions and everything. And thank you all for what you do for everybody in the YTPC, all the presenters. I can't thank you enough for all the help you've given me. Without you, I don't know where I would be with this pipe. So I probably would have gave up. But thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Tony. You have a good evening now.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Well, there we have it, folks. That was definitely an interesting chat. Went into areas that I did not think we'd be going into. I mean, I should have known we were going to talk about signals, but it's just so fascinating. And hope I didn't bore too many folks with the getting into the details there. But I just love to understand how things work, and that was really interesting. In case you're wondering, I switched over to, this is my Stan Nikowski pipe, and I am smoking some Boswell Private Stock, which is their Virginia Creek. Very nice Virginia Creek. I'm really enjoying this a lot. And we're getting lots of Lots of folks saying it was a good show, so I appreciate that, and I'm sure Tony appreciates it as well. Yes, Jim, I am just a geek. So I'm out of this pipe is done. So I'm gonna load this guy up again and have one more smoke before we call it a night. Kilted Piper Steve's gonna call it a night right now. Oh goodness, up since 1 a.m. You have a good weekend too, Steve. Get some sleep, my friend. Just started LJ Peretti Takashant in a Cobb. Very nice, B Comrade. That's a good blend. Thank you, Daniel. I assume you weren't commenting on this one, but this guy here. This is by a Polish carver named Stan Nokowski. Was a gift from my friend Bona Piper, actually, and I love this pipe. It's got that nice cant to it, kind of like an Ants, but very nice deep chamber, and smokes great. Full smoking bars loading a fresh bowl as well. Do I have to guess what you're smoking, Nick? Nick's the guy that got me, Full Smoking Bars, the guy that got me hooked on that Savinelli Jupiter. It's really good stuff. Oh, thank you, Piper, on the 45. I really appreciate that. Good point, Jim. I've never seen an ugly pipe either. Oh, Daniel's joining us in a fresh bowl, too. And since it's 4 a.m. where Daniel is, and he's just starting a new bowl, I have no problem starting one at 10 after 9. Yeah, Harlow Piper, I have. I've actually done quite a few repairs on bowls that were drilled too deep. You know, raised the floor up with the pipe mortar, and it works great. It seems to really work well. The only catch is you gotta make sure you coat the inside of the bowl with a thinned out amount of it, because it builds cake really fast, faster than the briar. So if you don't do that, you're gonna get an uneven cake formation. But it works well. Yeah, Daniel, you're I'm setting time by you. If you can still stay up, I can still stay up. Ah, Full Smoking Bar surprising me. Smoking some Maltese Falcon. Good stuff. Have you used it, Daniel? I'm glad to hear that. I've actually gotten a lot of good feedback about it, so I'm happy about that. And I've used it on quite a few pipes now and have not gotten a complaint yet, so I'm assuming that it's a pretty solid approach to fixing pipes. Sea Smoke Pipes had Maltese Falcon earlier, and now he's going for Chelsea Morning. Very nice. Philadelphia Piper's loading up a new bowl as well, and he's having some Ken Byron Ventures King's Ransom Rich Dark English with 40% Latakia. I gotta try some of those Ken Byron Venture blends. I've seen quite a few. I think it might have been Full Smoking Bar it was either Full Smoking Bar or Eric S. that told me about them, and I've been meaning to try them, but just haven't been able to pull it off yet. Yes, Boris, you're in the same time zone, so you can be another marker for me. Popo Piper's having a Rainier Model 20 and some 1Q. Fantastic. Harlow Piper, do you mean coating the inside of the bowl? If so, you can give it a few smokes and just see how it progresses. You might be okay, but I, my advice would be to coat the whole bowl. Corvette Jim's having an autumn evening. My favorite aromatic, which doesn't say very much, but great, Daniel. Glad to hear it's working for you. Burley morning pipe. There you go, Nick. Reed Bender Bud, how you doing, my friend? Having some zombie English in his Friday 7 Ellie. Tony, that's easy. Five Brothers is Burley. I don't think there's anything in it but Burley. Smooth Piper's having pumpkin spice from Sutliff. You're taking part in that everything tastes like pumpkin season, huh? Oh, that's neat. Philadelphia Piper. The Ken Byron Venture blends come with jar labels. That's pretty cool. Piper on the 45, Sutliff Virginia Flake, and a 1982 Benoit Golden Walnut. Wow. That sounds great. Watch City Cigars Old Dominion. Very nice, Daniel. And Smokin' Joe's having Prince Albert and a pear pipe. And Dude Rustica is surprising us by smoking some Rustica at a North Dean. Yeah, Harlow Piper, I'd let it go and just see how it develops. If it looks like there's a problem, if the bottom of the bowl's getting caked up too much and the sides aren't, ream it out and put some on the sides. Hey, Scotty Dashboard changed his name again. Well, it's getting hard to keep up, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. Briarworks bullcap with 3 fryers. I saw some 3 fryers in my cellar the other day, and I almost took the jar out, but I can't. I've got too many things going right now. I was up in the cellar because somebody who I will not name, but it was Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker. He posted these pictures of Thanksgiving Day. And I had already ordered Thanksgiving Day, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it hadn't arrived yet for him either. It was from last year, and I'm certain I've got some Thanksgiving Day up there in a jar, and I could not find it. I looked at every jar that I own, which is a lot of jars. And as I was doing that, I was finding all these things saying, "Oh, I should open that up. I should open that up." But I was a good boy. Cogs and Sprockets. That sounds very nice. Rocky Patel Decade and some Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. You struggle with 3 fryers there, Full Smoking Bar. What's the tongue bite? Yeah, I thought I had some, Christian, from 2017. I just don't know where it is. Scott D is breaking in his matches tribute still with some Carter Hall. Good deal, Scott. As I already mentioned, I think this weekend is going to be a lot of yard work. Got to get the leaves under control. And I got some garden beds I want to prep, see if I can still get some manure and put them in, turn it over and then cover them just to keep the weeds down. And yeah, that and I got a pipe I'm working on that I got to finish up. Still working on that conversion of converting to a Ginger's Favorite. It's coming along nicely, but the stem works a little slow because it's a big stem. Interesting full smoking bar. It does have some perique in it. I don't know what else is in there though. Yeah, it's going to be nice weather, Cogs and Sprockets. Smooth Piper's asking if anyone's tried that new crumble cake #1. I have not heard of it. Tony, I hope the burley's coming along nicely. I've got it hanging in the attic to dry, and I just keep forgetting to check on it. So that's something else I got to do this weekend. I don't think there's a problem with over drying it or anything like that. So hopefully it's sitting up there happy as can be. Oh, that's great, Scott. I wish I were in your place, but I have not even started putting the stuff away. It's going to be a busy weekend. Yes, Sailor, 3 fryers definitely can bite. That's true, but Nick's saying that it gives him an off taste. And it surprises me because Nick and I have talked a lot about tobaccos, and we've got very similar palates when it comes to burleys. So there's something odd going on there. Daniel, I'd love to help you with that, buddy, but I've decided that I'm not going to take any new orders until January. I've just got some things I need to do in the shop, and I want to get them done so that I can better work on the pipes. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together I guess it's a waiting list, and I've got like 16 folks on it already. So if you'd like me to put you on that list, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. And when your number comes up, I'll get in touch. Yeah, so Nick just doesn't like the taste. Huh. Dude Rustica likes the crumble cake. So who makes this crumble cake #1? Okay, Daniel, I will add you to the list. And the problem is I'm happy to do it, but the postage is quite high. So if you got a couple pipes, pile in that box whatever you can, and I'll take care of it for you so that we make it worthwhile in terms of the postage. Oh, it's a Sutliff blend. Okay, I'll have to check on it. An apple brandy, huh? That could be, Sailor. I'm not sure, but there's definitely Virginia in 3 fryers. And honestly, it's probably been years since I smoked it. Philadelphia Piper is asking if it's possible to fix a pipe if the air hole was drilled off center. Anything's possible. Sorry, I'm not trying to be, a jerk about it, but yeah, it could be done. I mean, you'd probably have to drill it out very wide, put a briar plug in, and then re-drill it. And depending on the pipe shape, that might be difficult to do. Because you have to somehow clamp the pipe into a drill press to drill it, and you might wind up drilling it off center again. It's possible. It's a lot of work. But if it was really important, something we could try. Dude Rustic is saying the topping on the crumble cake is not overpowering at all. I don't know, Steve. I think you've smoked enough Rustica at this point that you don't have a, you've burned out your tongue. So I don't know if we should trust you. No offense, Steve, but I'm going to wait for Peter to tell me how it is. I just realized we didn't see our buddy Everett tonight. Hope all is good with him. So as we're winding down into the last 10 minutes here, just want to remind you, check in the description for the three guys I mentioned, or the three channels I mentioned. Professor Jeremiah's Pith Helmet Matinee is really a lot of fun. I believe his most recent one, and he's doing this with Uncle Phil, and I think his most recent one was with Pipe Tree, so quite entertaining. There's a link for that down in the description, and also check out JMZ 56, hope I got that right, and Swaggy Bottom Piper 1926. The links are down there, you can find it. But do check them all out. And next week is going to be solo virtual pipe club, and I just found out, I don't know if you guys saw, we did on Halloween we did a Matches tribute live stream. Eddie Gray did it, and I was invited to join, and I really enjoyed it, and I was quite happy that he invited me. And I've lost my point of I found out that there's actually a virtual pipe club that, and I don't know who started first and all that, so we said that somebody owes somebody royalties, but we're just not going to talk about it. So every time I say virtual pipe club now, I'm going to feel a little guilty about that, but I think we're okay. So that'll be Saturday, and I'm looking forward to, I'm sorry, Saturday. That'll be Friday, next Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing you all then. Pipe Tree, how you doing, buddy? Was just talking about your appearance on the Pith Helmet Matinee, buddy. Oh, Ron Hardcrackers Ward said he's tried the Hershey chocolate porter. Yeah, I agree. It's the aftertaste is a nice surprise. Big Dave, Paretti's Thanksgiving Day is a very unique blend. It's mostly tobacco flavor, but it does have a topping, and it's it varies from year to year. I've had years where I got all kinds of like cinnamon and nutmeg notes from it, and it was really fantastic. Just perfect for fall weather. Other years I've got it and it was kind of bland. So I guess it varies from year to year, and it just depends. If you like, I don't even know if I could say it's burley based. It's got a lot of tobaccos in it, but it's definitely burley forward. So if you like burley and you don't mind some topping, you might enjoy it. I think it's worth trying. Yeah, Pipe Tree, I haven't watched the whole show. I just watched a little bit of it. Hope to get to it this weekend, but it looked like it was a lot of fun. Absolutely, Tree. Glad to do it. I'm with you, Harlow Piper. I was just saying it was bland the last time, but I can't wait to try it. And even when it was bland, it was just that it didn't have those sort of cinnamon nutmeg notes to it. It wasn't a bad tobacco at all. It was perfectly good. You heading out, Piper, on the 45? We're going to be cutting out soon too. So you have a good evening and great weekend. Happy to do it, JMZ56. Hope to see some more videos from you soon, buddy. Yes, David Dorian Ross. Thank you, Gene Roberts. David Dorian Ross Virtual Pipe Club. He does that on Saturday, and he incorporates Zoom. I did not know this. I'm embarrassed to say it, but you know, it's interesting. There's these. I said this to David on the on Eddie's Zoom thing. There are these like circles of people in the YTPC, and there's overlap, but you never necessarily, nobody knows everybody. And there's all kinds of things going on that we just don't know about. And that's why things like Briar Report are so helpful that, you know, we can, but I obviously haven't been using Briar Report myself, but you should. And yeah. All right, Daniel, you go get those lambs and have a good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, Harlow Piper did not have the cinnamon topping, you're right. I'm glad somebody else noticed it. So, Gene Roberts, do you know what time David Dorian Ross's Virtual Pipe Club is? Round them up, Daniel. No, Nick, I have not picked up any more Jupiter. I will. Mr. Stan J66, no worries. Glad you could stop in, and thank you very much. $2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Boris the Piper. So that's, I know Steph and Skip Kane have a live stream at I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern. So that might be a problem for me, because if I can ever remember, I like to check in with them. But yeah, maybe I can pop back and forth between them. I'd love to see what David's doing. Tony 513 loves my page. My page on Briar Report? I don't think I have a page on Briar Report. But thank you, Tony. He might be linking to my website, or maybe to my my blog, which I have not updated in quite. I've gotten to the point where the only thing I post on my blog is a holiday letter in December, and I feel bad about that. But I do have something I want to write about. I want to write about banding shanks, you know, cracked shanks, and I've got all the pictures taken for it, but I have to write it. Maybe I'll get that out before Christmas. Yeah, Jim, you know, when I am around at 2 p.m., I just forget. I always watch Step and Skip as a rerun, because I just never remember. I got you, Tony 513. Thanks, I'm glad you enjoy that. If anyone's interested, you can link to the blog. If you go to CaneRodPipes.com, up at the top there's something that says blog, and that'll take you to it. And yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, but I just don't have the time to write as much as I used to. Well, folks, it is 9:30, and you got to admit it's impressive how well I time that, especially since I'm not even paying attention. So I think my pipe is done as well. Very good timing. Thank you all for joining me. Hope to see you next Friday. Sure we'll have some fun then. And until then, have a great weekend and take care of yourselves. And I will see you all again very soon. Take care, folks.